content production has ground to a halt on this channel. I'm well aware of that, and for that I apologize. However, let me just grab something real quick. There we go. Alright, we're good. However, unfortunately, real life just kind of stepped in and rudely asserted itself yet again. And there were things I had to take care of, and that meant video content production was out the window. The only thing I could do was write. So, my Substack is going to be in the link tree in the description down below. Be sure to subscribe to that, and you can come read articles on just about anything. You can even request topics at times. I have been writing quite a bit lately because I've been following a particular series of events that I wanted to cover, and I went ahead and did that. So if you want to hear from me, definitely drop into my Substack. That is that's my main focus, mainly because I'm not getting constant interruption. When I get a constant interruption from it, it's not, you know, something you're going to see and hear, and I'm able to kind of, you know, pare that down. But I like to do this one take and uncut, so let's get into it. So, for this week, boy. By the way, how have you been? I have missed you. I have missed shuffling these cards. I've missed laying them out. Believe it or not, the only readings I have been doing are for myself or other people. So I've been keeping up on my practice, but I haven't been able to share it with all of you. And by the way, if I owe you readings, don't feel bashful to reach out, especially if you need one. So, we do have Viking Oracle and Spirit Animal Oracle, as always. The live streams, I have been keeping those up because I needed at least some consistency, and I've had to tell people time and again, there's no way I'm not doing the live streams. I've cut those back to 2 per month. You're not getting them down to nothing. You know, sorry. Actually, I'm not even sorry. But, okay, we got Rider-Waite Tarot here, too. One of the things I did want to mention that our last live stream a couple weeks ago would be our last live stream on CloudHub, because CloudHub just instituted a new policy where we would basically be paying to play. And, the answer for me on that one was no. So these videos will still show up on CloudHub, but we are moving from CloudHub, hopefully this goes well, to Rumble. We will still be doing YouTube and Twitter, so don't worry about that. We're still going to be there. Also have the Oracle of the Wisdom of the House of Night Oracle here. We used that one last time. It was my first time out with it. I really do feel at home with this one. I do like this oracle. I think it's very, very nice. It feels very familiar to me. And then finally, Viking Oracle, we're going to use the runes from that one. That way they show up really nicely. And that's how we'll cap off this video. Alright. So anyway, yeah, CloudHub, I understand that, you know, servers and all that, I understand that. However, we will not be paying to play. We will just play wherever possible. So let's see what we need to know for this week. And of course, I'm sorry I've left some of you unguided these past few. We are going to try to get back into that. I just can't really promise you anything because the schedule is still out of control. I have absolutely no idea what's going on there. Okay, and I do have a day job, so anyway, start with us, you, me, everybody. Sunstone. This was a crystal that was used in navigation. So when the heavy fog came in, this was used to figure out where the sun was, so that these seafaring people could triangulate their position and figure out where they were and where they needed to head. You can't know where you're going if you don't know where you've been, and if you don't know where you've been, you will not know where you are, And if you don't know where you are, you will not know where you're going. So if you know where you've been and you know where you are, it's important to guide others who don't know where they are, don't know what they're doing, don't know where they're going. And of course, speaking of guides, we do have the 9 worlds, which means that everything is connected. And I know some people cringe and they don't want to hear these words spoken, but it's still true. Where we go one, we go all. That is not an endorsement of anything. It just happens to be a universal truth. If one person is denied proper anything in life, and you stand by idly and do nothing about it, you will also be denied. This came up recently. If you've been checking up on my Substack, you'll have seen a series of articles that I wrote mostly about a certain thing that's been going on in tabletop RPG circles for the last 10 years, where these people have brigaded and gone after, and of course the cancel cult came after anyone within a 50-mile radius of a disagreement. They ruined lives, they ruined reputations, they ruined businesses because of a disagreement somewhere. For example, a man named Zach kind of popped up and he was like, hey, whoa, guys, we don't know if anything that's been said is true, and we shouldn't be acting on that. And for that, he was driven into near poverty. Now, myself and some others, whether I agree with this man politically or socially or not, is beside the point. The point is that now they have been exposed for what they are, the people who have done this. And personally, I think that anyone who's like, oh, I don't care, okay, one day that will come for you. And when it does, you better be ready for everyone else to go, oh, I don't care. I don't care about that kind of thing. Very important to note. And if you are one of the ones taking part in it, it is not too late to turn back. But it has to be you turning back. And we're not advocating going after these people. I do not play the game of pitchforks and torches. You see the difference. Okay. Now, your spirit animal. Antelope spirit. And it says life is speeding up. That is not necessarily great news for many of us. Life is already coming at us fast, and guess what? I wouldn't be surprised to see an 8 of Wands in here, because an 8 of Wands will reinforce that. I'm letting you know. Now, with life speeding up, that means you're going to have to approach things from a very fair perspective. What you'll do for one, you have to do for everybody. You're going to have to start leading by example here. And if no one is taking your example, move on. Shuffle the dust from your heels, kick that dust off your heels, and down the highway you go. I hope that some of you are seeing this and seeing it clearly as I am, because that is exactly what's going to happen. Alright, let's get into the tarot. So mentally, where are we? Well, we got some reversals here already. We're leading out. So, a lack of temperance on your part. And if you're starting from this lack of temperance, this is not a good thing. Because this is where you're overindulging, and it can really interfere with things. Now, a six of pentacles here, or 6 of coins, whatever you want to call it. This is where you should be at your most generous. So where your guides are, where your significator and your guide are pointing is right here. This is where we get to lead by example. This is where you become that change you want to see in the world. Wherever you are, When you want things to change, you have to be that change. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now, in your business lives, that may not be possible. And let me tell you from experience, you can lead by example all you want, and all it'll wind up doing is making them go, oh, this person will do it. You know, you will do it because they just can't be bothered. And that can lead to this seven of swords here, where it feels like things are just being taken from you. And if you're starting to feel like you're being taken advantage of by a lack of temperance around you, start looking at the facts. If you've been that example, it's time to move on, right? Like I said, life is speeding up. Let me tell you something. Life speeds up the further along you go. When you're a teenager, when you're a kid, you can't wait to be a teenager. You can't wait to be an adult. And then when you get those things, it's like hey, how many, let me ask you this. How many times have you looked up and realized, oh crap, it's my birthday? Oh, uh-oh, Valentine's Day is tomorrow, right? We saw a plethora of people last minute panic shopping, right? I'm sure you've seen it. Did you stand in one of those lines? I'm sure you saw it too. Now, physically, we're not talking about what's in your mind here. This really should be in your mind. That generosity, when you can afford that, that's key. Okay? If you have it in you to help others, that's a great thing. But just remember, it wasn't stolen from you. Just remember, temperance. You need to spin this card around a little bit. Alright, so we do have a 3 of Pentacles. We got an 8 of Swords. And we've got a 6 of Wands. Let's start with this one. You're going to have to work with others. And these people in your life they're going to have to start following your example. You're going to have to show them it can be done. This is a case of show, don't tell. A lot of the problems that you face they're not as big as you think. Matter of fact, the little binds that you're in, all you got to do is just shake them off, rip the blindfold off, step between the swords, you're home free. That is not going to feel like you're winning. Right now, you're facing kind of an uphill battle, and it can hurt. It can be painful, but this is one of the times where you're going to have to kind of help yourself. You're going to have to guide yourself. You're going to have to weigh your options, and you're going to have to, when I say weigh your options, you're going to have to think about every aspect of this. You're going to have to overanalyze just a little bit, see where it all connects. Alright, spiritually speaking, we got a Queen of Wands in reverse, I got a Page of Wands, and then we have the Devil. I really don't like it when the Devil card comes up in your spiritual center, because this Queen of Wands right here, where is your energy and your passion? Because right now it feels like your get up and go got up and left. It feels like, are you feeling kind of depleted, especially after the holidays, and then Valentine's Day right after that? We got Easter coming up next. Then there's this one, that one, and you're like, oh my goodness, I cannot keep up. Plenty of people feel that way. You're not the only one here. Okay? I just want to make sure you know that. But this is where you should be. This is where you should be a little how can I put this? A little economical, I should say. This is going back to the whole temperance, this 6 of Pentacles. This is where you should understand where you can help, only do what you can when you can. Not give over everything you've got. Save a little bit of that for yourself, because you're going to need it. Okay? Being serviceable is not a terrible thing. You can only do what you can do. Take it from me, I know. Alright? But now, you need to watch out for any opposition. You should be watching out for the emotions of jealousy and deceit. That could come into play. I'll touch on that in just a minute. And then you've got this Page of Wands right here. This may look like strange news coming up, but I guarantee you, you're going to want to listen when this news comes, because this is an act of proclamation, and even if you may not agree with the message, I guarantee you, you'll want to listen, at least. At the very least, take into consideration what is being told to you, because without it, you could fall back into this Queen of Wands. You could fall back into the jealousy and deceit. And guess what? You could become really unfaithful to something that you put yourself in front of. And losing that faith, you fall into addiction. And we are addicted as hell, no pun intended, to those feelings of jealousy and deceit. In fact, one of the things I was talking about, the man named Zach, a lot of his success, that's what a lot of those people were jealous of. Plus he was kind of prickly on the internet, and that made him an easy target. But a lot of those ideological fights were revealed to be fights over resources. You're making money they thought they should have. They weren't willing to earn it, they were just willing to take you down so they could step in and take your market share. The very thing you earned. Don't let yourself fall into these patterns, ladies and gentlemen. They're not good for you. So, Wisdom of the House of Night. We've got 3 cards. You know what? In all that drama, letting go became the key thing. Now, I know there are some people that are out there looking for apologies. There are people out there looking for some kind of retribution, but letting go is going to be the absolute best thing for you. Because if you don't let go of a driving desire to put others where you are, you can't change them, you can only change you. And you need to let go of that. And if your efforts and if your tireless efforts are just not being appreciated, it is time to let go of that situation. And time to, let go of it altogether. Just walk away. For your physical, we got Aphrodite with vision. Okay, here's where some hard truth comes into play here. Whatever your vision is, whatever your goals are, if you know what you're worth, go out and get it. Do whatever it takes to go get it. But again, be ready to consider everything. If you're just tirelessly giving of yourself and you're not getting anything back, yeah, you got some freeloaders on your hands, and they're freeloading off of you, and they're sucking off of you, and it's time to just turn the faucet off. Sometimes that's what's best. Now, spiritually, we know things can get complicated. Okay, and if things are complicated right now, they're a little too complex, you're really overthinking a lot. There's an old quote by Mr. Miyagi. He says, Daniel-san, when life seem out of focus, always return to basics. Breathe. No breath, no life. How true is that? Because there it is. The very title of this video, no breath, no life. Breathe. Sometimes you are going to need to take that minute away. Alright, for your runes, we've got Avaz, Dagaz, and Tivaz. That's crazy. This one is all about movement. We have seen four-legged beasts in this very reading with the antelope. Always stay moving. Okay, even if you need to move away from the situation for a little while, always do that. And right now, your vision, if you hold to that, then that will bring on your Dagaz moment, your dawn. Interestingly enough, the last time I did Rune of the Week, it was Dagaz. It was that very rune. So it's interesting that it comes up again, because holding to your vision, whatever that is, whatever that looks like to you, that's going to be the thing that makes it, when that thing suddenly makes sense, when a light bulb goes off in your head, when it dawns on you, that's where it's all going to come into play. And you're going to realize what's not serving you, what's not helping you, what's draining you, what's dimming you. If it's dimming you, it needs to go. Plain and simple. And it's interesting that T-Vaz came up, because this is the rune for Tyr, for the very justice that you're seeking. And let me tell you something, justice is restorative. Justice is all about balance. Again, when life seems out of focus, always return to basics. Breathe. No breath, no life. Don't forget to breathe, people. Just because life is speeding up doesn't mean you have to hold your breath. And don't hold your breath on the people and things that aren't helping you at all. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's best to sometimes let go of a situation that is just dragging you down. It's best to get out of a situation that is not holding to your vision. But just remember, that sense of fair play also needs to apply to you. Alright? So I hope that this reading helped. I hope that we'll be back to do it again, because I have missed all of you. And it's not good for me to only see you twice a month. It's not enough for me. And I've got this little furball over here bugging me for food, and he's still 15 minutes away from feeding time. Yep, that's right. Mr. Bub is still here. As you can see, he's had a bit of a shaved belly recently. Look at that. Look at that belly. Oh, big belly scratch. He doesn't like that. I don't like him interrupting, but that's okay. Was a good boy. Huh? Yeah. Alright. So anyway, just remember these things. When nothing else is going right, just remember this. I love you all. I want you to take care of yourselves and each other. I want you to always do what lights you up. And as always, shine on.